isn't the consequences of our own bad decisions. And I am not just talking about Nintendo. I am talking about the whole Western world video game industry as a whole. The video game industry in the Western world who have shit on gamers so badly, and along with shitting on pirate sites and ROM sites and emulation sites. This needed to happen badly. This was long overdue as far as anybody's concerned. The downfall of Nintendo because of the downfall of the Switch 2. I'm glad that this is happening. I'm glad that we are seeing this because this needed to happen as far as anybody's concerned. This was long overdue. They deserve what they're getting. And now that we're seeing this happening, this is a rebellion of gamers who are rebelling against the Western world video game industry as a whole. They are rebelling because they are fed up of the crap. They are fed up of what's being shoved down their throats. They are fed up of all the loot boxes, all the DLCs, and now they don't even own their own video games anymore. That's bullshit. That's absolute and utter bullshit. Let me tell you right here and now. What we're seeing is a rebellion of gamers who are fighting back against the video game industry. The same video game industry who shit on mobile games and gacha games while promoting those same types of transactions for AAA video games in the here and the now, in the present, instead of trying to undo those kinds of things. But no, instead they want to shit on mobile video games while promoting those kind of things in AAA gaming. As far as I'm concerned, this downfall was long overdue and well deserved. I'm not gonna lie. I am absolutely celebrating this fact. I'm celebrating because I feel zero sympathy. Zero freaking sympathy for what's happening now. This needed to be done. This needed to happen. And now that it's happening, I'm entertained as far as I'm concerned. I am very entertained. I feel nothing for the Western world video game industry right now. Zero sympathy whatsoever. The downfall of Nintendo is well deserved because I've been watching what's been happening for years. I've been watching what's been happening in the video game industry for years. Quietly watching and quietly observing. And as far as I'm concerned, I feel zero sympathy for what's happening now. As far as anybody's concerned, the downfall of Nintendo because of the downfall of the Switch 2 is well expected and well deserved. If anybody saw this coming a mile away, kudos to them because they knew that this would happen. Me, I knew that this would happen. I saw the writing on the wall. It was well expected as far as I'm concerned. I feel zero sympathy for the video game industry right now because they are hurting because of the Switch 2. They are hurting because of the Switch 2 right now as we speak. The Switch 2 is going down hard. Gamers are rebelling and selling their Switch 2 after buying it. I don't blame them. I really don't blame them. The video game industry are hurting because of the Switch 2 and the fact that Switch 2 is not selling the way it's supposed to be selling. It's an absolute shit show. It's a train wreck. It's a train wreck that they didn't see coming. The elites in those corporate companies, they didn't see this coming a mile away. They brought this on themselves as far as anybody is concerned. Nobody should feel sorry for them. Everybody should be telling them that they brought this on themselves. Everyone should be saying that this is well deserved. That this what's happening in the video game industry should not be happening. But yeah, it is happening, and they brought this on themselves as far as anybody is concerned. No one should feel sorry for them. No one should feel the need to try to help them in any way right now. Because right now, the video game industry in the Western world is a sinking ship. A sinking ship that can't be saved in any way, shape, size, or form. As long as bad decisions keep being made, things will just keep getting worse and worse. It's like the birth rate. No matter what decisions are made, things keep getting worse. And things will keep getting worse because bad decisions keep being made. It's just that simple.
If you work as a manufacturing...
I see that I have 2 people who are listening to my videos or my podcasts. I'm grateful that they downloaded my stuff because I really wasn't expecting that right off the bat. I am thankful for that, honestly. I am so very grateful for that because I wasn't expecting for someone, let alone 2 people, to download my stuff right off the bat. And this is truly a grateful time for me right now. I am thankful for what is now happening. I am thankful that people are listening to me about what's happening in the video game industry. And I'm not the only one speaking out. There are others speaking out as well about what's happening. And they are right about what's happening. They're right that things just are not good in the video game industry right now as we speak. I'm glad that people are listening to what I am saying and people agree with me on this one. In order for people to download my stuff, I am eternally grateful. And I just don't know what else to say other than thank you so very much for this. I hope to continue doing this. I hope to continue making more podcasts as I go on, and this is something completely new to me, something completely different to me that I have never done before, and I hope to make this work somehow. I don't know where to go from here. I don't know if I want to make this a long podcast or if I want to keep things short. But keeping things short right now seems to be working for me, so there is that. I'm not trying to be something that I'm not, so I just want to say thank you for listening to me, thank you for supporting me, thank you for downloading my stuff, and this is Grim Rebel saying thank you very much, and I'm out. The Nintendo Switch 2 is what happens when the video game industry go on a power trip. The Nintendo Switch 2 is what happens when the video game industry stop caring about the people and start catering only to the 1% of people who can afford it. Along with the fact the Nintendo Switch 2 is an absolute train wreck of a product, a so-called product that only works for those who are die-hard fans of Nintendo, those who shell for Nintendo, those who kiss up to Nintendo. The Nintendo Switch 2 is what happens when certain groups of people become fanboys so much so they stop caring about being abused by the video game industry. The Nintendo Switch 2 is what happens when one group of people become disenfranchised, while another group of people become the main targets of the so-called product, the 1%. The Nintendo Switch 2 is so much of a train wreck that it's become brand new name, Bricktendo. Oh yes, that's the name it's now being called, Bricktendo. Because people are replacing their bricks online as we speak. The Nintendo Switch 2 are being bricked by Nintendo, who don't care about certain groups of people, even if those people are legally buying their games online from people who have used the cartridges on the Nintendo Switch 1. It seems Nintendo doesn't like that kind of thing for whatever reason, and they could care less that they are hurting their own so-called product. They could care less that they are destroying the goodwill that they've built up through the years with the people, and now it's all coming crumbling down on them, whether they like it or not, and there is nothing they can do about it. And now they're looking all around them, and they're seeing everything that they worked hard for coming down on them, so much so they're now trying to save themselves, but they're finding themselves getting sued left and right like a bad habit now. They brought it on themselves as far as anybody is concerned. Nobody told them to do what they did. Nobody held a gun up to their heads and told them to do what it is they did. But they ultimately did what it is they are currently doing. And it's only backfiring on them, and it's resulting in lawsuits after lawsuits after lawsuits. As far as I'm concerned, I feel zero sympathy for what is happening now, because this needed to happen. And yes, I agree with Angry Guy. I don't care if Nintendo goes out of business. As far as I'm concerned, the industry need a kick in the ass in order to realize that what they are currently doing is not working. What they are currently doing is not sustainable. What they are currently doing is destroying the goodwill that they built up through the decades with gamers who are now turning their backs on them, gamers who are now rebelling against them, gamers who are fed up of the absolute crap that's been shoved down their throats for years now. And now, gamers are saying, no thank you, we want the old stuff. No thank you, we want physical media back. No thank you, we're done with the digital crap. No thank you, we're not going to take what you're trying to shove down our throats. We're not going to do what you want. We're not going to take what you're trying to give us anymore. We're doing what we want to do now, because enough is enough. And now gamers have had enough of Nintendo's bullshit, and they're saying, now we're doing things differently. We're going back to physical media. We're going back to what made gaming great to begin with. We're done with the digital bullshit. We're done with all these game card keys bullshit. We're done with all the loot boxes bullshit. We want to be able to unlock things in-game by grinding to get those things after a hard work of grinding for hours, days, weeks, months. Gamers are done with the bullshit they've been fed for the longest time now. And now, enough is enough. Gamers want something completely different. They don't want the status quo. They don't want the okie doke. They want something different. They want to go back to what once was. They want to go back to the way things used to be. And I agree with them on this one. I'm not going to lie. I agree with them on this one. Nexus mode bastardized. I don't see the point in Nexus mode being bastardized the way it is now. I don't know why the creator of Nexus mode decided to sell his project up to somebody due to burnout. Unpopular opinion, he should have just ended it completely. He should have just cut it off completely instead of selling it off, because now it's being bastardized by somebody who doesn't know what he or she or they are doing. I don't think Nexus Mode should have been sold off. It really shouldn't have been sold off to begin with. That was a bad idea and a bad decision, because look at what's happening now. People are complaining about Nexus Mode. And me, I'm just a guy observing from the outside. I'm just a guy observing from the window, looking in and thinking, wow, what a train wreck this has become for Nexus Mode. They were doing good at one point, but now Nexus Mode has become an absolute train wreck of a product. And now the creator of Nexus Mode can't do anything about it. He can't swoop in to save the day because he sold it off. So now he can't come back to try to save what he created. It's too bad what's happening now. Unfortunately for him, Nexus Mode is no longer his project because he sold it off due to burnout. And now Nexus Mode can't be saved by anybody unless it's sold off to somebody who actually know what they're doing. But unfortunately, I don't see that happening anytime soon. I do see Nexus Mode going downhill even further than it already has so far. This is one train wreck after another. First the Nintendo Switch 2 and now Nexus Mode. I don't know what's going on in the video game industry. It's like there is something in the water because things are just so bad right now. It's unbelievable, to say the least. It's pure insanity, to be perfectly honest. I don't know why this is happening. I wouldn't even know what to do if I was in their shoes because of all the train wrecks that have happened for years. There is just so much to be undone. It's going to take time and effort and years of undoing. I won't be surprised if it takes decades of undoing to regain the trust that has been lost with gamers. It's going to be a lot of work, but if they are willing to put in the work and the effort, then more power to them, because they have a lot of work ahead of them. They need to do a lot of work to fix what has been broken, because a lot of things right now are not good in the video game industry. A lot of things are absolutely bad, horrible, terrible. You can even call it criminal if you want, because that's exactly what it is. Criminal, to say the least. The video game industry right now are not in a good place. They are in a very bad place right now. And I don't know what to tell you. Nexus Mode. If I was the creator of Nexus Mode, I would have shut it down instead of selling it off. I wouldn't have let someone who doesn't know what they're doing come in and take control of it. Because look at what's happening now with Nexus Mode. It's being called all sorts of bad names. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. All I can say is Nexus Mode, the video game industry, the Switch 2, it's more bad news after bad news after bad news. Things just keep getting worse instead of getting better. And I don't even know what to say about this now. So many bad things are happening in the video game industry. It's unseemly. It's insane. It's crazy. And it's sad to even have to think about.